Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the public episode of Red Pill Tamales. Been getting a lot of feedback on the show, man. That's always a good thing because, you know, it always feels like, well, maybe it's just the TIA agents that really keep up with RPT, but there's a lot of people, man, stop me at the airport. They're like, yo, man, that Red Pill Tamales, my boy.
For real?
Yeah, it was like, a handful of people at the shows, and they keep it kind of low-key, and it kind of gave me an extra little spark. And we're getting the podcast, Stu. We got some equipment coming in, so y'all just be ready, man. We're gonna be hitting y'all over the head with a bunch of episodes. Of course, every Wednesday is a public episode. Red Pill Tamales. All the agents, all the patrons, y'all already know, man. Patreon.com/Red Pill Tamales. You can get on the Discord, get the bonus episodes, and I owe them a live stream, right? Because I'm supposed to do one like at least every week.
Yeah, but we'll be on the road. We'll be able to do it. We got this. It's all good.
That's been the thing, man. Shout out to everybody who's been coming to the shows. Dude, trust me, dude. Like, my wife flew into the Covina shows, and then she also flew into the San Diego shows. So these are new clubs, a lot of traveling, and we appreciate y'all support. But guess what, though, man? Before we get into politics. All right. So I made it to jiu-jitsu today, bro. It's been like 3 weeks. The bad news is, I'm letting y'all know right now, I think I'm gonna it's gonna be like a sober September of some sort.
I already know where the story's going.
Look, man.
You feeling your age now?
I felt the humidity.
Oh, shit.
I felt me being 44. I felt me missing class for probably 3 weeks, give or take. I felt a lot of things. So, like, my gi was drenched. My little bald peanut head was just dripping. So that's all the bad news. The bad news is I was just, like, reminded, like, hey, bro, remember how every time you in this class, you always say, man, I really got to cut back on smoking. But it's like, it's either like, hey, well, more than, because some of them a lot of them jiu-jitsu people smoke. So it's like, well, maybe you're just a little out of shape. I know, but maybe it's a combination of both. And if anybody has any home remedies and recetas of, like, somebody told me you could, like, go jogging or something and chew on lemon peel, and that somehow, some way, like, have it in your cheeks, somehow, some way that acid is gonna, like, get in there and break up mucus, and you're gonna cough up whatever you got up in there. And I have been congested, like, past couple weeks, so that might help. I'm gonna try damn near anything. But here's the good news. So at the end of class, right?
Yeah.
After about 15 water breaks and, like, literally passing out just from the warm up alone. At the end of class, the coach lined up, like, everybody up against the wall. And we're like, oh, damn, it's 15 minutes left, and he's about to make us do a gauntlet. So he, like, pulls out, like, a bunch of purple belts and brown belts, like upper belts. Like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a big ass class. And all right, the first 9, y'all team up, and then the line moves down. So basically, the people on the wall are trying to just pass guard. That's it. You're not gonna keep rolling. You know, you're just trying to pass the guard. The people that are down there, like King of the Hill,
Yeah.
they're trying to submit you or, like, sweep you. So of course, I got swept a bunch of times, and you know, I was out of breath. Everything else. However, 2 different purple belts. 2 different purple belts. I passed their guard. Obviously, if it would have been a real roll, I probably couldn't have finished or submitted them. They probably would have came back and whooped me. But I was very proud of myself. I was very excited that I passed 2 purple belts guards, bro.
When was the last time you went to the class?
It's been at least 3 weeks, at least.
That's pretty good.
Possibly a month.
But you have been studying too, right?
Sometimes I'll look at tutorials, or I'll look at an app, or, you know, Eddie Bravo's app. But it was cool because the first dude that was a purple belt, he, like, had my leg trapped, and I did, like, this, like, side step, like this little back step thing, and he was like, oh, dude, nice, you got me. Like, damn, that's what's up. The other guy,
I would have been like, hey, don't say it like that. Say it like I did.
well, yeah, because he was like, damn, like, oh shit, with the back step. And then the other dude, he's like, what's up, man? Chingo bling. He's like, what's up, man? You on tour? So we, like, just 5-second chit chat. Yeah, I leave tomorrow morning. Like, motherfucker, don't try to distract me.
Don't try to get in my head.
And don't try to use me distracting you as an excuse. So then it's like, all right, bet, go, boom. And I'm like holding his knees. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get past his legs, aka his guard. And I'm like doing some little misdirection thing, like a little juke. And then I just saw the opening where I'm like, I could just do a cross step, and it worked. And he was like, chingo bling with the misdirection. But anyway, I wanted to share that with y'all, man, because this is the normie episode. But man, we got some hot topics. Of course, we got to talk about those debates. I almost said rhino debates, but the Republican primary, they're not all rhinos.
Rhino
the
debates.
Republican.
There's one non-rhino, everybody else rhinos.
And even Vivek just did an interview on Anomaly, or it's about to air, or something. I don't know if it came out. But Anomaly, of course, does his homework. Shout out to Anomaly. Anomaly always does a whole bunch of research, and sometimes he'll say stuff to right-wing people that'll trigger us. And like, you know what I mean? He'll be like, oh yeah, well, tell me why your boy Trump X, Y, Z. And it's like, damn, bro. Look, man, he ain't perfect, bro. You know what I mean? He's the lesser two evils. So, of course, we got to talk about the debates. Also, breaking news, man. Tucker Carlson said he got some scoop, some of that hot tea on some of that tecito. They calling him Bathhouse Barry.
Bathhouse Barry.
Your boy Barry Soetoro. Now, I did vote for him. He follows me on Twitter, so I'm going to watch what I say. That boy Barry. I guess Tucker interviewed a dude, said him and Barry had done a little something. New York City, bro, they got them drones. They got migrants and they got drones. And they got a whole bunch of crime. So New York City, we're going to talk about y'all. And that's probably all we got time for this public episode. And of course, here's the teaser for all the members of the TIA, all the patrons, patreon.com/redpilltamales. We're going to talk about how the Rona is back. Whoopi Goldberg caught it. So, of course, you know, ABC Network and the mainstream media got to put it out there. You know, get everybody primed and ready. Brandon's wife, Jill, Dr. Jill, she caught it. And they're like, well, you know, now, you know, even though she got 15 boosters, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Elon Musk is suing the Anti-Defamation League for defamation. Isn't that ironic?
Yep.
What else? It's a bunch of other stuff, man. Some crazy stuff going on in Florida with these dudes wearing red shirts and got symbols around their neck.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, some
they used
symbols.
to, you know what I'm saying? They used to be out there in Germany and Ukraine
World
now.
War, you know, World War, you know, type of thing. You know,
the Third Reich.
Word we can't really just talk about. Oh, yeah, there you go.
There's a lot of stuff, man. You got to watch what you say. And then also maybe on the exclusive episode, we'll talk about how General Flynn was breaking down his way of looking at how the powers that be wanted to have a new world order.
Yeah. How the powers that be wanted to have the new world order and all kinds of stuff.
And I didn't even introduce my boy, man. I didn't even say your name or nothing, man. Damn. Juan Perez is in the building.
They know who it is.
Y'all see the gray blazer, baby.
Gray Blazer. They keep calling me Blue Blazer.
They keep trying
to put the blue on me, and it's like, guys, we're past that. We're gray right now.
It's on to
We're
the
not
new.
really Republican, not really Democrat. We're kind of gray.
It's kind of like, it's like dark Brandon. When you put on the gray, it's like when you don't give a damn, bro.
It's a gray pill, dog.
It's like Juan about this close.
Black pill is gray pill.
Juan about this close to going off on one of you suckers. Tour dates, man. So tomorrow we take off doing a private event for the Border Patrol down in Farr, Texas. And then I'm going to pull up on my boy Raymond Horta in South Padre Island. I think I'm just featuring, which is great. It's going to be fun night. A great way to spend an off night. And then Friday, Victoria, Texas. We anticipated selling out Victoria, Texas this Friday. Get your tickets now. Hit up the website. Por favor, believe it. All right, bro. We 9 minutes in. I done told y'all about jiu-jitsu and everything else.
The longest intro.
I know. I know.
So give him a little taste, and he's like, let me just...
Well, which part was too long? The jiu-jitsu story?
I mean, that was like 9 minutes of intro.
Come
dog.
on.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what to do.
God, we got a great episode for you. It's going to be these three topics. What's up?
Okay, my bad. And then dive in.
Yeah, and then just dive in.
Damn, Juan.
We working on it, man. We working.
It's difficult, man.
It's working. We trying a system. We're trying to figure out what works for us. You know, we're just coming in hot, you know? So this is just, you know, there's a free episode, so you guys get the free content.
Yeah, y'all get the practice episode.
Y'all get the practice.
Where it takes 10 minutes to get into the subject. And I was just a guest on a whole bunch of podcasts, so I got to represent because hopefully we getting some new eyeballs. So how do you feel about this Tucker Carlson interview where he's interviewing this gentleman who said he had a little thing going on with Barry Soetoro, aka Barack.
There's been a lot of rumors about that for years, actually.
A long time,
so
right?
yeah, and everybody was like, "No, man, he's our president." Now he's not our president.
You heard about that way back then?
Yeah.
Damn. What were you listening to? Alex Jones or something?
I can't remember, but I remember I heard about it. I was like, man,
He was on that Rush Limbaugh back then, huh?
Because it was about like the only two things I ever heard about him was like it was always the where's your birth certificate,
Of course.
and that he's gay, and I was like, what? And then
Big Mike.
Yeah, Big Mike came out later where I was like, oh, really? Like, and then we saw Big Mike's Big Mike, and it was like,
And they
bro.
say, some people say that footage was altered and doctored. And then every time somebody posts Joan Rivers, did you see the Joan Rivers one?
Yeah, the way she said it. Yeah, the way she said it going up to Sarah. Everybody knows. Like,
And then she died mysteriously like a week or two later. Let us know in the comments. Do y'all believe that the Big Mike rumor, is it a myth? Is it a hoax? Is it a story?
I don't know. I mean, somebody died over it.
Well, I mean,
In
allegedly.
shallow water.
Oh, well, see, that's another thing too. They think the chef saw too much, and that they think the chef knew too much. But check this out, bro. This person I follow on IG.
Food wasn't that good.
Damn. This person, you done pissed off Michelle. This person I follow on IG, they posted the Joan Rivers clip where she's like, everybody knows about Big Mike, yada yada. Well, the fact checkers, the little, they don't want you to see it, like, see why we're fact checking it.
Yeah.
It's always some third party that Mark Zuckerberg and them, like, it's all controlled opposition, just to like shape public opinion. But anyway, the fact check said Joan Rivers was wrong about the Obamas, and that was it.
Oh,
it
wow.
didn't say like the doctor that delivered her, like, here's a picture of her pregnant, like, don't show me no CGI picture of her as a little girl, like. Like y'all getting too lazy with the fact checks.
Here's the thing with the fact checker stuff. Even the fact that they just said that, like, I didn't see it. That's just what you're telling me. But like, the fact that they would just put that label and just say she was wrong about it.
Like,
Dude, even with like medical stuff, they usually say this could be misconstrued or this could be something. So they say it in a way where it's like this. They've never just flat out said they're wrong. They're lying. They didn't say anything like that. It's just straight up, well, she was wrong about that.
Joan Rivers was wrong about the Obamas.
That
And don't be suicidal looking into stuff.
Bro, that sounds super narrative driven. You know what I mean? Like, just to say, like, stop. Like, they're just over it. Like, they're just like, they're not even hiding shit no
Like,
more.
stop
It's
looking.
just like, hey,
Y'all need to stop talking about that.
yeah, basically. That's getting crazy. We can't just have opinions. Somebody can't just say something, especially a comedian like Joan Rivers.
One of the comments, when the person posted that, one of the comments was like, we can't even see your perspective. Because it's like, it's just a black screen. Like, you got to, like, keep going and clicking. And how many people, like I said something somewhere. It might have been, like, obviously not on IG or Facebook. It might have been Twitter. Where I was like, all these people kept saying I was pushing disinformation or something. And I'm like, how? Where? Like, prove me wrong. You know what I mean? Because the conspiracy theorists, what is the score? Anyway, somebody was like, all they got to do is just look at your IG from like 2020 or something like that. And it's like, again, where was I wrong? If I said homeboy was sniffing children, okay, was he not? When I said homeboy sleepy and y'all voted for him, the man been on the beach all the time. He ain't went to Ohio. Did you hear what Dark Brandon said about Ohio?
Mm-mm.
They're like, hey man, when you gonna go visit East Palestine? He's like, look man, look.
Oh, yeah. He said we got all these
He
flights.
said,
Yeah,
look here man, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Which, I mean, damn bro, it's been already like how many months?
That vacation was long, bro. He was getting his tan. He really needed that tan.
He's like, I wanted to go, but they informed me, I gotta be on the other side of the world. See, I gotta fly out of Washington D.C. Anyway, Juan, tell us about these debates, bro, because I think you did a way deeper dive than me.
Oh, dude, I actually watched all of them. I think I watched that one. I watched it a full time, then I watched it a second time, and then I saw some other stuff. And I just to get different perspectives on it, because the way I saw it, the way I was reading everything and seeing everything, I was like, man, it's wild. Like, just because if you actually watch the full debate and not just like clips of it, you're gonna see the way it was kind of set up. The way, like, because some of those people shouldn't have even been on stage. It's like, and other people have come out and said, dude, you should not be allowed on that stage if you don't at least have 10%, 5% of some of the votes. Because
it was a waste.
Chris Christie should have never been on there. What's that other?
Chris Christie need to get his stuff together, bro, because he looked like Humpty Dumpty. And who else?
What was that old
Mike
man?
Pence,
the other, no, not Mike Pence. Fuck that dude, by the way. But
FTP.
Fuck Mike Pence. I'm gonna say that right now.
How about that?
I'm gonna go back into it in a second.
Whole ass.
Who was the other dude? The other fucking
Well, you got Ron.
the dude with the whole
You got DeSantimonious.
Ron Paul. Fuck that guy.
Wait. What's wrong?
Was it
Rand Paul?
No, I might have said that wrong.
Yeah.
Who was the other guy?
Tripping.
Who was the other dude on the stage? Is an old man over to the far left. I just remember where he was standing.
Oh, Asa Hutchinson?
Yeah, Asa Hutchinson should have never been on that stage for real, dude. That dude, oh man. It was just terrible. It was terrible because if you watch the whole thing, you're watching like, you literally are watching everybody, all these pawns set up in a certain way to make DeSantis try to shine. And then you had everybody jumping on Vivek. Only because Trump wasn't there. But it's almost like they put all those people on stage to really go after Trump. But since Trump wasn't there, Vivek was the number one target. And Vivek, the edge that Vivek had was that he wasn't scripted. That's the whole thing. That's why he was able to flow. That's why he was able to just fucking go off on them.
That boy Vivek, Freestyle King.
Everybody else reading prompters, looking at everybody else, trying to figure out what are we voting on? What are we doing?
What's acceptable?
And PBD had and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I wasn't there. So like he said he was watching all the guys in between breaks, and so it's a good perspective to have to see exactly where the alliances were. And so what he said he saw was interesting because he said the way they set everybody up, they had DeSantis and Vivek in the middle. And Chris Christie was next to DeSantis. And so all these guys are already just picking at Vivek because they don't want... Look, if Trump or Vivek wins, they're not company men. They're not politicians. So like, they're not the good old boys club. Everybody on stage outside of that, it's like Vivek said, they're all bought off at some point, or they all have some type of unity in some way or another. And so they're trying to pick these guys off because it's like in some way they can't be controlled like everybody else can.
Dude, what would you do if Vivek gets the VP?
I don't think he will, but because he doesn't want it. But I think he would have to be something else. But I mean,
do you think they'll let him be in the cabinet?
I think that would be the best bet for everybody, just so that way he can be in the cabinet, be in there, and kind of start making changes, small changes in his own little way to set him up for president later, and then make bigger changes later. So it would be smart for him to get on a cabinet, probably not vice president, because if you're vice president, you also get looked at as one of the figureheads aligned with Trump. And if you're trying to unify everybody the way he's been going on some of these interviews and talking about, and there's still a lot of people right now for whatever reason, and he's right about this, there's still a lot of people in America that are just triggered by Trump. So if they see Trump and Vivek as VP, it's kind of...
Well, he's scared like it's a liability and it's going to reflect on him.
Not...
Even though he's the one that seems to have Trump's back the most, like he'll pardon him.
Yeah, because he's going after truth. So his whole thing is like, his whole campaign has been about, I'm going to tell you the truth. If I get voted for, that's dope. If I don't get it, fuck it. At least I was honest with my campaign, and I'm not lying on stage. Like, I'm telling y'all everything up front. Y'all have questions for me, I have answers for you, whatever. And if I don't get voted in based on the public, then okay, then our country's gone even worse far left than I even thought. So he makes valid points, because at the same time, like, he is for Trump, but I think his skills would be used somewhere better than just VP. I think it could be used somewhere like, some people were saying like, oh my God, what is it? Like the money, I forgot.
Treasury?
Like some head of Treasury, because he's business dude. So him being able to do that.
Even though some people allege that like the way he made his money They allege a whole bunch of stuff about that guy.
Okay, but if we're gonna talk about the money thing, that's interesting you bring that up because he even addressed this.
Yeah, he does a good job of addressing all the things.
Yeah, but he addressed it because if you look at everybody else, including Trump, like everybody's taking money from Soros at some point. Everybody's taking money from them at some point, and you have to be. And I say that not because it's like I'm making excuses for them. I'm saying because if all those motherfuckers run the world and they own all the damn money, where are you gonna get the loans from? Like the top people that own all the money. So yeah,
they got the printers.
They got the printers, dog. Where are you gonna go? You gotta go to the bank. The heads of the banks, all these people all work for the same people. Where do you think you're going? Most of y'all like, man, that's a traitor. Most of y'all eating from companies that BlackRock owns anyway. So like you eating food from George Soros. If you think about it, BlackRock owns most of your food, most of your clothes, most of your industries. You're all taking shit from him anyways. Are you gonna disqualify for that? Because Trump.
Damn, bro, why you cussing at the listeners, bro?
I'm just telling y'all making some stupid ass arguments whenever you look at the grand scheme of things. You look at the grand scheme of things. All I saw on that stage were a bunch of rhinos and a bunch of like good old boys versus the little Indian kid that was like coming out and it's like
I'm the skinny guy with a funny name.
Look, let me tell you this. This is the part where he fucking shined the most when he straight up said, like, I'm the only one not up on here and global warming is not real. Fuck y'all. Like when he did that, mic drop, it's over.
I'm able to say the truth because I'm not bought and paid for. He said climate change is a hoax.
Now when I say it's mic drop right there, that's mic drop for the people. But you got to understand what he did when he did that because some people don't understand what that meant. Like that implicates that all the higher ups, all the people like the George Soros and all these big top guys, all they're doing is pushing climate change on us. So if the candidate goes up on stage and says climate change ain't real and he's literally bucking his head against everybody else and it's going against the narrative, you could think one of two ways. You could think, oh man, he's just doing that so he looks good. Okay, why didn't anybody else do it? DeSantis could have done it. He didn't do it. But the fact that he did that, he lost donors, right? And now it's like, dude, I'm just cashing in all on the people. Look, this is some bullshit, guys, and I'm gonna make these changes. You want to be on board? Cool. If not, here are your other options. Yeah. That's all it was. Like, and the fact that you could see that everybody on stage was reading teleprompters, and the only time they didn't read teleprompters was whenever they would do little attacks on everybody, and then little attacks on him. And then the whole thing with Mike Pence, dude, fuck that guy, dude.
And fuck Fox News, because Fox News was trying to set up Trumpitas in a trap. So
if you guys listen to the interview with Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump, there's something I took away from that interview and then the debates. Mm-hmm. The one major thing I took away is Trump was being nice about it. That's why it was hard to catch unless you were like really listening. But the whole thing that happened with J6, like the whole incident there.
People just got triggered right now. They're probably like,
I don't care, but like here's the thing with Mike Pence.
Just right-wing comedians.
Just as a friend, like
incitement.
Mike Pence only had the position he had because Trump got him in, right? He got him as vice president. Okay, yep. So here's the thing. What happened at J6? The reason I'm bringing it up is because Trump said this, and he looked almost like just sad and miserable, like in the meeting, like he's just real calm or whatever. But it's just like, man, I've been like screwed over so much. And this last one, he explained it very in detail, where it was like, when he starts talking about what happened on J6 with Tucker, and he starts explaining.
You're saying when Trump is explaining?
Yeah, when Trump is explaining it to Tucker, he's explaining what happened. He's saying when he felt he was, I gotta watch what I say, but like when he felt that he was robbed, right? And he wanted to overturn it, okay?
Or challenge it or contest it. Yeah, because overturn is the narrative that's put out there.
Right, but what he was explaining, he said at that moment he wanted to overdo it because he was like, "There's no way that
send it back to the states."
Yeah, send it back to the states. Now, what he was explaining, if you listen to it, he's saying, "I wanted to send it back to the states for a recount. Why is that bad?" He goes, "That like I didn't do what presidents in the past have tried to do, and like." Just like, oh, like we just won't count their votes or whatever it is. Like he's like, literally, I want to send it back to the states, have a recount, see if it was accurate, whatever it was, and then we'll go from there. And so he was like, I want that done. But you also need, I guess, the vice president has to agree to it. And that's where Mike Pence comes in. Mike Pence could have agreed to it.
And it was perfectly legal, constitutionally, and everything.
At the time it was, but he didn't know. So Trump was like, can we overturn this? Republicans...
You mean challenge it or contest it?
Challenge it. Like, this shit I can't say, because if I say about the election...
The reason I don't like that word overturn is because... Like
challenge it. Okay, challenge it. So
well, I'll let you finish your thought.
To challenge it. Okay, to challenge it. So if he was going to challenge it at the time, when that happened, he was told from Democrats, from lawyers, from Rhino Republicans, and a few other people that were in back pockets, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. They told him for years, you can't do that.
Told Pence?
Told Trump, you can't overturn it. You can't overturn it.
You can't challenge it.
Or you can't challenge it. You can't challenge it.
Yeah.
And then again, it went to Mike Pence, and Mike Pence's excuse was, it was hectic. I think we just lost. Whatever. And
man, Biden can't even sell 1,500 copies of a freaking autobiography book.
And yet he got more votes than Obama.
Than Barack.
Than
lying ass.
Bathtub. What was his name?
Bathhouse Barry.
Bathhouse Barry. Yeah. So that whole thing of it being overturned, challenged. The whole thing about being fucking challenged. Yeah. It's all. So I'm saying all that because what ended up happening was years went by, and then they changed legislation. Kind of like how Fauci changed definitions. They changed legislation. Right when they changed legislation, all of a sudden, boom, RICO Act, hey, we're suing you guys, boom. And now Trump finds out at that time, then they tell him, hey, you remember that thing you want to do? Like, they told him, hey, you remember that thing you want to do about challenging it? You could have done it, but now you can't.
Yeah.
And it was a shock for him where he was like, and now I'm being told this.
All those indictments are fugazi.
Bro, they're all bullshit, bro.
They're all fugazi. All them indictments are fugazi. That chick, Fannie Willis, in Atlanta, trying to say that like RICO, they're literally indicting lawyers. Like those lawyers are getting indicted for a legal stance that they took. You know what I mean? Based on evidence of shenanigans, evidence that this is how the public gets so manipulated. The narrative that goes out that the intelligence agencies give the networks and to read up there. To call it news, is seditious conspiracy to overturn. And he was on the phone in Georgia saying, y'all need to find me them votes so I could win. They say, y'all cutting words out. And that's not even what he said. Like, that's not even, I just can't wait, because every time they hit him with indictments, more and more people are like, yo, he really is an outsider who was throwing a monkey wrench in their entire globalist plan. Like, wait, I really think this guy is standing up to the system, standing up to the machine, and standing in the way of just America totally going down Schitt's Creek the way New York City is. Have you? Okay, tell me what you saw with the drones, because I know I've been seeing a lot of crime and migrants, online and stuff.
I'm just seeing that they're releasing the drones. People are going to like the police stations and saying, hey, y'all remember it's for the people, that type of thing. But I don't really know too much about it, but like to the point where it's like I saw the drones, NYPD just
like flying them to spy on your like backyard parties, right?
And see the problem with this is the whole thing that we're going through with the FBI, and then the stuff you're hearing with like Trump and them. It's like, okay, at some point it's like, yeah, we want to make sure everybody's safe. And I can understand that part of it, and of course that's the part we always go to. But again, there's no shade at New York, no shade at police department or anything like that. But in what used to be a very shady, corrupt type of system, where they ended up like getting a lot of people in one time whenever Rudy Giuliani got into governor.
When they tried to clean up. When he was mayor. Yeah.
When he was cleaning up. And then now it's going back to shit. And now we're giving them like drones and stuff. I'm just nervous that, of course, it could be for good, it could be for bad, but it's just a machine at the end of the day. But they could be using that for other means. Because if our FBI has been turned on an ex-president and other on former president and other things like that, these are just things and tools that they can use to just overreach a little bit. And it's like, until we can figure out certain laws and stipulations and like put things in place where it's like, you can't use that in the court of law, you can't do, until we figure out where the actual boundaries lie, it's kind of hard to just give them that much authority. Like, it just feels like, oh fuck, dude, this is gonna get pretty bad.
New York's going to crap, bro. Their leadership is crap. Y'all on Twitter, follow this account at Reza, REZA C1. Reza C1. He posted a picture of how these Venezuelans are living in these luxury apartments that they're just on taxpayer dime. He said, on this Labor Day, remember that 5.2 billion of your tax dollars have already been used to house those that chose to illegally enter the U.S. and are being put in luxury hotels with fluff and fold laundry services in New York City. I'm gonna get back to that part, the fluff and fold. Another 12 billion over the next 3 years estimated for now. Actual price tag will be much higher when considering healthcare and schools. Please let that serve as motivation to go out and work harder tomorrow so that we can house, feed, and inebriate our newest neighbors. He said inebriate because it's pura cerveza, like Coronas. They got like a mess. They got a pigsty in some of these rooms. They're just like partying, loitering, messing around in the stairwell, acting a fool. Meanwhile, these hotel people got to fluff and fold their laundry. When I told my wife that one, because I know that was going to make her ultra mega.
And meanwhile,
because she hates laundry.
And meanwhile, our people in Hawaii still don't have the aid that they need, and it's still being held up. So,
and Ohio, and there's, I mean,
a bunch of fires just breaking out.
Our airports ain't shit. Yeah, there's fires. I mean, our infrastructure in this country, the money's going, is corruption. They laundering the money. They sending it over there. It's all going in these politicians' pockets. And then I'm looking at the comments from that post where he's talking about the billions and billions and billions of dollars to basically migrant care. That's what New York calls it. That's more manipulation for you. Somebody tried to argue, refugees are not in the country illegally. They have legal status until their case is adjudicated. The 14 million people who the U.S. South relies on almost as slave labor, yes, they are in the U.S. illegally. Yet every Southern governor depends on that labor force and do nothing. And then he debunks it. He's like, the vast majority of these migrant individuals illegally cross the border, non-designated point of entry. They're given permission to remain in the U.S. until their cases are adjudicated, which now seems to be at a minimum of a decade. And he goes on. Someone says, how are they getting over Trump's big, beautiful wall? And then he posted the picture of how the door is being left open for them. They're welded open with the excuse of moose migration and like, there's different reasons. There's like no wall in some areas, like if it's like a reservation, which is like their sovereign territory.
Look, here's the thing with the whole border crisis thing and everything coming over. Let me just say this. We're not going to see the effects of this for at least, we're going to start seeing it now, but it like takes a little bit for it to be like out of control. So it's at least going to take another half a year before it's like, what the fuck is happening? They need to get settled. And then when that happens, who knows who else came over? Because there's a lot of like questionable people that came over as well.
Military
so who
age.
knows what they're up to?
Yeah.
On top of just the other ones that were coming in illegal.
But Latinos are trained to think that it's just abuelitas from Mexico, and how dare you say anything about the border? Because it's just innocent, poor abuelitas, and you're the son of immigrants.
Yeah, and all of you guys that are saying that same thing are going to be looking for a person with a gun that's an American citizen to help you when shit hits the fan. But just look at what's happening in Israel right now. Look at what's happening in...
What's going on with Israel?
They're trying to like deport all the Africans that came in.
Because they're acting a fool.
Because they're acting a fool. They're taking over, they're rioting. And they don't even have guns. So now they're just throwing rocks and stones and fucking wood. It's getting out of control. You can get stoned to death. I'd rather get shot, to be honest.
Did you see Sweden? Did you see Sweden?
Sweden? Look at all the other countries. You want to see what America's going to come to? Look at that side first, because that's what's coming over here, but even worse. Because there's a lot more over here that have come over than over there. So like that's going to be here in like another half a year, right around election time. Just Throwing it out there.
To be activated. But look, I don't know if people are going to notice that soon. It might take a few years. But, like, look at France. Okay, Sweden, I saw footage of this, like, Middle Eastern deranged, mentally ill person climbing up a ladder, going into someone's apartment to stab them. And they're just there filming him, like, you know, Monsieur, like, get down. What are you doing? He's just got his knife and shit going up a ladder. And they don't have any protection. They don't have any weapons. So they're just like, it's like, you better at least go boil some water, some hot grease, throw on this man, or tip over his ladder. So beheadings, honor killings, no-go zones. Just look at any of these Norwegian type of countries who wanted to be woke. Look at Germany. Look at France. Italy is being invaded. Some people don't like the word invasion. Obviously, I'm Mr. They Can't Deport Us All. So I used to, like, tongue-in-cheek joke about all this stuff. Like, oh, you know, Chingo Bling is here. I'm making a splash. And the invasion has begun. And they can't deport us all. And all this stuff. Now, I'm looking at, hold on, bro. These people from other countries got police stations over here, laboratories. They welding the doors open. Like, now that you know the statistics about 85,000 kids at the border, which, by the way, I took a picture in the green room in San Diego where I acted like I was asleep, and I put my hat over my face, and I tweeted how Latino Hollywood sleeps knowing there's 85,000 kids missing from the border. And it's just like me taking a nap. Awesome club, by the way, man. San Diego. Shout out to Raph Molina. He was cool to work with. Puro Chuco Town. But hey, this pretty much we pretty much didn't hit.
Yeah, we went a little bit over for this, guys, and this is light-handed too. We go harder on the Patreon.
As you can see, there's so many little details that one can just parse out and just dissect. And I wanted to nerd out more about the manipulation tactics of wording, of persuasion, of propaganda, of like wording things a certain way. Like for example, dude.
But even propaganda, like a lot of words we're using, it sounds complicated, especially when we say legislation, all that. It's a language. Honestly, what I've come to figure out, like, and I think why normies and all the other people struggle with is because you start saying too many words like legislation and all this stuff.
Oh man, come on.
It's
dog.
like, come on, man. It's like you gotta break it down like Game of Thrones type of stuff. You gotta like be like, no. So he said this, and what that implicates is boom. Implicates probably a big word too. But yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you lost all my Mexican fans, bro. You know Mexicans don't like them big words.
It's like Theo, like your Theo did this. That the guy we don't like over here.
Pura tranza.
But yeah, we're just trying to break it down to where it's like, because even that Mike Pence thing, most people don't even know that about Mike Pence, fucking Q-tip head fucking motherfucker.
Lame.
Like, dude, that guy annoys the shit out of me now when I see his face.
Because
all that he was on a debate stage for is because he's not gonna be president. All he was on a debate stage for was just literally to be like, I did the right thing. They literally had a question to be like, did Mike Pence do the right thing? I did the right thing, right? I did the right thing, right? That's literally what he was on that debate stage for. Fuck that guy.
I'll tell you why he was on that stage, bro. Because he's getting ready for his next job, which is gonna be like, where's he gonna work? Raytheon, a pharmaceutical company.
Oh, one of the third party freaking weapons arms dealer thing. So he could send
because he's approved, because he's good, because he did the right thing, and he's keeping the narrative alive that Trump incited the riot. People started acting a fool because Trump told them to go down there and do that. I know he tweeted, be peaceful and respect the officers, and we're going to make our voices heard patriotically, and you're going to go down there and and peacefully protest, and we're going to fight like hell to win our country back. I know they trying to twist those words up as to it was a sedition. Like if you see Joanne Reed on MSNBC or Morning Joe MSNBC or that other lady, what's her name? Megan, I forget her name. I almost called her rapping though.
Megan Murphy?
No, the lady with the short hair.
Oh.
I can't remember her name, but long story short, they want to be able to go on TV and say this. The 4-time indicted. I mean, Juan, literally, a New York judge said that what he did to that woman, the one that sued him for sexual whatever, I mean, it was damn near rape.
And grape.
And, oh, sorry.
Come on, man. This ain't Patreon. Hey, we gotta switch over to the Patreon, guys. We'll see you
All right,
over there.
let's get over here.
Subscribe. We gotta go.